Sunny here with Sunny Blake Fitness, and in my last video I gave you my numero uno, my number one tip for success in hitting your fitness and nutrition goals, and that was to make a plan. So now I want to talk about tip number 2, how to ensure you're staying motivated and inspired to keep working against those goals. And that is to set yourself up for success along the way. So I want to paint a picture. Let me ask you this. Do you see something, maybe it's an Instagram post or an article you read or something you hear on a podcast, and that person is either doing something awesome or challenging you to do something awesome? Maybe like you see your favorite Instagram influencer like deadlifting 300 pounds. Or a trainer's talking about the 75 hard program, and you think, man, like that sounds so freaking cool. Like I should totally be able to deadlift 300 pounds. Or maybe a buddy dropped, 40 pounds or so, and you feel this pang of jealousy as you're walking around with an extra 20. Or like your coworker decides to run their first Ironman, right? So all these people around you, they're setting and achieving goals, and you feel like jealous, or you feel super inspired, or more likely it's probably a mixture of both, right? So maybe you make their goal your goal. Or maybe it's something not as like severe as this. Perhaps one day you wake up and realize that you're carrying an extra 10, 20, or 40 pounds, or you can't remember the last time you went to the gym, and you decide, today's the day I'm working out. Today's the day I start working out every single day. All right, the diet starts Monday. I'm gonna meal prep. I'm gonna macro count. Like this is gonna be awesome from here on out, right? So you have this like flurry of motivation. It's like this unstoppable wave which washed over you. And you set this huge goal, and then you develop a plan. Or maybe you buy a plan, or maybe you hire a coach. And the first few days or weeks, you're running on high, like you're running high on this motivation and adrenaline, feeling high. And then life. Shit hits the fan, something gets in your way, you stop and you never start again. Because restarting seems, quite frankly, impossible. And then you think, who the fuck was I kidding? There's no way I could lose 30 pounds. I've certainly never done it before. Macro counting, going to the gym 6 days a week, that's insane. And speaking from my own personal experience, this has happened to me quite a few times, and this has happened to my clients quite a few times as well. And my friends, you are not alone. What you are facing is setting goals which can become intimidating because you're like so laser focused on that big scary goal, the all or nothing, either hitting the goal or not. So when something gets in your way and your perfect ideal plan gets derailed, you tailspin and stop. What's really happening is you've developed a plan which is either not achievable, not appealing, or more likely a combo of both. Now I want to pause for a minute because you might be saying, whoa, Sunny. The thought of losing 30 extra pounds is totally fucking appealing. And if I put my mind to it and focus, I can achieve it. And I'm not saying that at all, okay? What I am saying though is that oftentimes we set these huge appealing goals, which can become quite intimidating when we think of them in their full 30-pound scope. And we think about often achieving that goal as quickly as possible by setting this lofty plan which isn't sustainable based on our current reality. And then when the going gets tough or that initial high, that initial motivation dissipates, the intimidation can paralyze us. So how do we go from never consistently working out to working out 7 days a week? How do we stay motivated to shed those 30 extra pounds or to eat healthier? My friends, it's quite simple. We do this by breaking that big, audacious, scary goal down to habits you perform every single day, which are achievable and appealing enough so you can stick with them consistently. Just like the saying, we must learn to walk before we run, we must also learn to put our shoes on before we step out the door. So how do we do this? How do we make it achievable and appealing? How do you go from never working out to consistently training every day? From 7 days of takeout per week to meal prepping and macro counting. So the very first thing we do is we make the very beginning as achievable as possible. Instead of focusing on that end goal, we focus on that initial behavior, which eventually will result in that end goal. So for instance, if you have a goal of working out 60 minutes a day, every single day, but right now your workout consists of emphatically yelling at the TV during football season, instead of focusing straight out of the bat on 60 minutes a day, 7 days a week at the gym, we start by having a goal of putting our shoes on, stepping out the door, and getting in our car 7 days a week. If you've never ran before, instead of focusing on that 40-minute run, we start with a 2-minute walk to the mailbox and back. And we stick with these behaviors until they become easy habits, until it becomes so easy to achieve it that we're itching to move on. That's how we make it achievable. Okay, so the second thing we do is we make it as appealing as possible. Now, a great a great byproduct of making a goal as achievable as possible is that it often becomes appealing. So we do this by making the achievable behavior right on the cusp of our abilities, right? It's just out of where you're currently at, not too hard, not too easy, just right. And that's where that motivation comes in. So if the thought of going to the gym 7 days a week sounds so far-fetched, it makes you chuckle, then we find a goal which is just out of reach, say driving to the gym 7 days a week. Or if your goal is to eat better, but you currently exist on takeout, instead of jumping straight to meal prepping and macro counting, you commit to eating 1 apple a day. By giving ourselves permission to make these slow, sustainable behavior changes, we're guaranteeing that these in-the-moment behaviors will become lifelong, sustainable habits. And this is one of the first things I tackle with my clients. We break down their goals and develop the plan so that they can achieve any fitness or nutrition goal they set their minds to. And then they become unstoppable. So what I would love to know is, what is your big, audacious, scary goal? And what's the first behavior you're going to focus on to get there? Take care, my friends.